Hello, fellow fringers, spacers, my scum and villainy. I just wanted to pop in here at the top with a quick reminder that our next release after this episode is going to be a sort of mailbag Q&A. We've got listener questions that you've sent to us. We get into how Alex and Jamie came up with their characters, and we pull back the curtain a little bit on this campaign, Empire's Edge. So the episode that you're going to hear right now is sort of like the last recording that we had that we all got to be together with. And our mailbag episode that's going to be our next release after this is the first of our remote recordings. As we kind of figured out how to handle the situation and the equipment and all that stuff. After that, we continue to release episodes every other Wednesday, just as planned, and the story continues. And so does our remote setup. So things may sound a little bit different, but oh man, we've already got a few episodes in the can, and I cannot wait for you to hear them. Our new recording situation does not slow down our fearless fringers, even for a little bit. Oh! So please enjoy episode 13. This one's a little bit of a long one. We do go a little bit long, but if I was going to split it up into a couple of different parts, you'd end up with like a shorter episode at the end. And I kind of feel like it just works better as one cohesive part of the story. So yeah, we just left it and we went a little bit long, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So thank you for listening, and on to Empire's Edge. Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm Ian Duncan, your host and game master, and Geonosis? Yes, sis. Mm-hmm, yes. Yes. You could probably tell that I'm joined by some regal queens. To my right, Alex Herrera.
Oh, you started with me this time, and I'm a regal queen.
We must respect the royalty.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Alex, and I play Beegax Botano, the Doug Slicer.
And the one who knows the most about Geonosis, Jamie Lee-Bonés.
That is factually incorrect. Hi, I'm Jamie. I play Ello, the modified medical droid.
So if we get anything wrong about Star Wars canon and Geonosis, please tweet Jamie at
JamieLee.Bones.
Jamie knows Star Wars.
That I don't.
We've talked all about it. Let's get going to it. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 13, Journey to Geonosis, Part 2. Having successfully recovered a ship from the dunes of the Socorran Badlands, Elo, Beegax, and the crew begin the journey to Geonosis, a battleground of the Clone Wars and a system completely occupied by the Galactic Empire. Elo and Beegax have promised to help rescue Versus' friend, trapped on a nearby space station locked down by the Imperial military. With little time and less information, the intrepid crew discuss their options and formulate their plan.
Our camera comes down, like it does in so many Star Wars films, off the title crawl, from those twinkling stars, and pans down to a different ship. Just a new ship. Longer, older, not as beat up as the Way, but it certainly looks like it's seen better days. It looks like a ship that's been around for a while and has survived through the Clone Wars to make it to here. Kind of looks like a Maytook with its wings folded down. Long, narrow head that sort of like tapers off, sort of like a beak, and an elongated body with the engines at the back, where the cargo is. We come down on this ship, making its way slowly outside of Socorro space around the planet and into the asteroid belt.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That surrounds this sector of space. A potentially dangerous place, certainly danger known to our two fringers here that find themselves on this ship, and that is Elo and Beegax.
As Alex, the human being, I completely forgot that there are pirates out here.
Yeah, they're
Holy crap.
They might not still be out here. We don't know.
I mean, we did mess some of them up.
Yeah.
Well, certainly the asteroids are still out here, and they float and collide around each other, these large chunks of rock and ice. Let's do the destiny roll.
One dark. Jeez, it's going to be the same. Watch.
2 light side.
Yay!
Light side. Also 2 light side. Jamie.
We have the upper hand.
So that's 4 light and 1 dark.
Oh
The force is
my
strong with this one.
goldfish.
Wow, we can do so many things.
The world is our oyster.
This might actually pan out.
Well, I'll start. Beegax is in the pilot's chair, and he's gonna like pat Ello on the shoulder, like, "You did a hell of a job. I'm impressed."
Thank you. It actually doesn't seem that complicated to me.
Wow. Okay, maybe I'll teach you more. This is, in case when I might not be able to pilot or something, I think it's important that we have a second. And he's gonna look back to Verse and Creed, who I assume are like in the walkway to the cockpit, or like hanging out around there.
Yeah. So you see a gran male, big, bulky, 3 eyes, sort of like each one looking around at the ship, taking it in, and a human female named Verse who's walking with purpose, a disruptor rifle slung around her back.
She can hold on to it. She's good. She's done fantastic things with it. She's an artist with the rifle. He's going to look back at them and then back to Ello. Well, what do you think of the crew?
Well, we do have 2 more on board than before, which makes our likelihood of successful mission greater.
True. How do you feel about him being a gran? Snarls when he says it.
And Ella's going to look over at Creed. Oh, you mean Creed?
Yeah. Yes, I mean Creed. Beegax looks back.
I'm not familiar with the Gran, but he seems very nice.
Funny thing about the Gran. Let me tell you a little story. And he swivels in his chair so he can face them as they're coming in.
Yeah.
On Malastare.
Is this like so that they can hear?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
On Malastare, the Doug tells stories of what it used to be like when it was just us Doug. Then the Grand showed up. I think they were there all along. Who knows? And they basically made us slaves. Oh, go grab this. Go open that tree. Get this fruit. Build these docks for us. Do this, do that. Now, you see, I'm not one to live in the blood feuds, but sing a few Gran in the Imperial camps. That was very frustrating, to say the least. And his whiskers kind of do that thing where they're like kind of like fidgeting, like his lower jaw's trembling, like he's gonna growl louder. And he's gonna calm himself down. But you know, this guy right here, he doesn't know about the blood feud. He's not from Malastare. At least he don't look like it.
No. He exclaimed to me that he was from Kinyon.
I want to clear the air here. It seems like you've got some hostility toward me.
No, buddy. He like kind of rubs his head. I'm not very good at this.
I understand. I get it. I do. But I'm not from Malastare. I'm not from those Gran. I don't agree, but I've got nothing to do with it.
You didn't let me finish. I was gonna say, gosh, I'm sorry. As he like grits his teeth, for the way I treated you. And he looks at Verse. I'm sorry I threatened to turn you into pulp. That was very, very difficult. I don't know how you do it all the time. Bedside manner, it's not easy.
Yeah, look at you. Hello, you might want to check him out. Seems like he's might have a nosebleed or something.
He twitches.
Elo walks over. Are you spiking
Oh,
the
no,
fever?
she's lying. She's lying. She's just kidding. Look, I say this because we're stuck together for a little while. We owe you something. We'll finish it. But when we finish this, and in case we need your help, I think it goes without saying that we could use you on a semi-permanent basis.
What are you saying?
He rubs his chin again, that same spot when he's stressed out.
We need crew members. And that little scenario we had down there, if it was just Ello and I, we would be bent up hoodoo by now if it weren't for you two.
Verse, like, she kind of doesn't know what to do with this a little bit. She was jabbing you for the apology, but now it's like in earnest. So you can see sort of like a conflict cross her face a little bit. And she looks at Creed and he just like does a shrug. She's like, let's see how this goes, all right? Let's get this done. We can worry about tomorrow. All right?
Fair enough. I think that's a good approach. Besides, one of us might get shot in the next part of this mission.
He looks at Ello.
It's not going to be me.
Well, I'm hoping none of us get shot because if things go well, if things go how they're supposed to, we're in, we're out, and the Imperials don't know.
That's right, Imperials. Forgot about that part. Hey, did I mention that I'm wanted by the Empire?
Yeah, you did mention that.
Okay,
and
good.
she like crosses her arms and she's like, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Is that going to be a problem?
Nah. Well, the GM said no, so no.
Beegax will kind of shrug.
No, I doubt it. I don't think this particular group will be looking for me. The group that's looking for me, way more dangerous, way smarter than your average stormtroopers or security guys. We should be fine. As long as I stay on the ship.
What's the bounty about, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm not exactly ready to spill the beans just yet, but let's just say it's nothing violent. Not a killer or anything. Well, can't say that with a straight face anymore, but I haven't killed any Imperials of importance. Let's put it that way. I took something they want. I have it. It's very useful.
Are they looking for your face? I mean, we're about to fly into a literal war zone full of Imperial Navy.
Sure.
I need you to be upfront. Is that going to be a problem?
Only if they see my face and have recognized me from any type of wanted poster, but I don't know if you've been in a war zone. No one out there is looking for criminals. They're looking for someone to shoot who's on the other side. And as far as I know, none of us are Geonosian.
Creed like looks down at himself and he's like,
Then we should be fine.
okay.
I need coordinates for Geonosis, and we should take stock of our weapons before we make any moves. But we need to get the Criff out of this zone because this is where the pirates are.
Okay.
Let's start to jump.
She gives you coordinates for Geonosis to it's actually in the Geonosis system, but is not to planet. It is actually outside of planet to a place called Rampart Station.
Station, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll be in the Geonosis system. It's a couple of parsecs. Just means to you that you can make that distance without burning too much fuel. You're able to make the journey, basically.
Yeah, because it's Outer Rim. No.
It is Outer Rim,
Okay.
yeah.
Man, we're going all over the place in the Outer Rim. All right.
Can Ello, since we're going through the area which the pirates were and the asteroid belt, go to the turrets, like, right
Oh, yeah,
away?
we don't know how the guns work on this ship.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they'll just, like, that'll be their station for whenever we decide to take off.
Ello goes to the guns, basically. They have some that are forward facing, and then they have some in the back, just in case. It's not a well-defended ship. These are close range, damage 6, critical 3 laser turrets.
Oh, man, not as good as ours.
Yeah.
Ours is better.
They're not as good as the Ways. And they only have a forward fire arc.
Ooh, so if they're behind us, we have to turn around.
Well, they have some in the back, but you know how Ello like basically like dropped to like go between turrets? It's not like that. They're like down the corridor.
At the very edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you do have guns in the back, same stats and everything.
We just need someone to man them. And we know Creed's not a good shot because he doesn't shoot. So he's not allowed in that. He's not allowed in the gun turret. And if,
he's like,
Oh no, I don't want. I'm.
Don't worry, you're not going to have to do it.
I would assume we tell Verse, like, hey, if things get hot, get in the back gunner. And then Ella can sit in the frontal guns. And then I'll pilot because no one else is going to do it.
okay.
Technically, Verse can pilot, technically, too, right?
I mean, I feel like technically you all could pilot. Like, I feel like if you're traveling in space, everyone's got a little bit. Like, everyone could get behind a wheel of a car.
Yeah.
But to be really good at it,
Right. If we crash into a planet, we crash into a planet.
Yeah. Plus, like, I'm pretty sure she would have told me, like, hey, get off the sticks. I'll drive if something happens.
yeah.
She would play to her strength. So
Versus kind of like, you're the pilot. That's what you like. That's what we agreed on. That's your domain.
yeah, she doesn't want to drive.
In fact, she's like, everyone goes to their kind of things. Ello goes to the guns. Creed kind of goes back to like wandering around. Like
He's our
checking stuff out.
anti-boarding.
Yeah. And Verse kind of like is just hanging on the chair by Beegax, and she's like, I've got codes too. We're gonna need to spoof codes. We're gonna need to spoof that we have cargo too. I don't know what's back there, but we'll take a look. You mentioned something about that. I have older codes that are supposed to work, but they're older.
I can make new ones. It takes time.
And he's going to look around. Make sure Creed's not here.
He's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing I took from the Imperials is a slicing deck. I learned how to use it in the ISB.
You're a slicer. You're an Imperial slicer.
Well, I prefer self-employed slicer.
Okay.
Give me your codes. I can make them better.
She pulls something like a little code cylinder out, basically, hands it to you.
Puts it in the deck. Taps on the keyboard.
Oh, this is great. I can do something with this.
Okay. Again, we're just in and out as fast as we can. We're not going to be here long.
Well, I mean, I don't really know how fast pregnant Socorrans move. Or I know that a pregnant dog is very slow.
Really?
Yeah, very slow, because there's like 5 or 6 of us to come out at a time. So if your friend is the one we're picking up and she's got the, baby, I don't know, in and out will be that fast.
She's supposed to meet us, but we are going to have to be quick.
Okay.
And I'm not kidding. Security is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I just saw what happened on Tabros. They'll probably be cracking down on all the stations.
And he's going to, like, almost as if he's looking off into nothing. 'Cause, like, he's thinking about Chai Chai, obviously. He's like, shoot, like, I fucked up. But I was like,
Yeah, just give me some time. I'll get these codes. You should check the cargo. Let me know what you find.
She nods. She walks out.
and he will begin spoofing code. Basically, he got a starter set of a cool card game. Now he's got to make the deck better.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. So let's do two things. Let's do a computers check, and then I know earlier, Jamie, you had some questions about Geonosis. I think if you want to, in game, we could roll some Outer Rim knowledge to get some information about that.
Okay.
If you want to,
Yeah.
and you're both welcome to do that roll. But let's do this computers roll to spoof these
I would
codes.
assume this is average or hard. Because
This is going to be daunting. These are Imperial codes.
it's one of these bad boys, right?
Snap.
It's going to be 4 purple.
I'm
Cool.
going to flip a lightsaber.
All right.
3 yellow.
So you can have a boost die for having the starter deck.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Bears. Thank you, bitch.
Don't call me bitch. That's what she says. Oh,
1 threat and a triumph. So it's a triumph and a
tough.
threat.
That's a tough one.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So I think you failed to make these codes better.
Oh,
you
boy.
have these are still operating
the
under
old
this like old codes, yeah. And if you knew what the new ones were coming in, it would be no problem, but you're just going to have to trust that these old ones get cycled through or something like that. Just yeah. We'll save the threat. I want to know what this triumph is though, cuz that's going to be pretty important, I think, moving forward.
I'd like to think that it's by pure coincidence that there's like a subsection where it lists like, oh, vendors, trusted vendors, the Empire, like, oh, these are the guys we shop from specifically for weapons, for armor, for blah, blah, blah. And this particular ship is like a trusted vendor of miscellaneous supplies, right? Like whether it be spices, not like drugs, but like actual spices, or like power convert, like odds and ends, almost like the Radio Shack of space. Or
Okay. Yeah.
these guys have all the junk that other people don't have.
Yeah.
And our ship matches the profile. Like it's a junky freighter. It's old, but it still works, and it can carry, a ton of things because it's got the big butt, it's got the big space. So it just makes us look more legitimately like we're supposed to look like.
I like that. I think that works. I think we could add something that would add on to that Triumph a little bit, I think you also have some of that cargo.
Yeah, whatever.
Like whatever it like, what is it? What do you have that you're bringing in that's miscellaneous junk?
So if Verse goes back there and kind of goes through the crates, we're not gonna have the drugs or explosives anymore because we got them babies.
Right, those are gone. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it could be like weapon components. You know, like enhanced like the add-on. So not necessarily anything you can make a gun out of, but parts that you can make guns better.
Yeah, I think that all works. Yeah, it's like random weapon parts. That totally works.
Couple crates of them.
There's this threat that these codes might not hold up, but at least like you're able to see that it would be it's not unexpected for a ship to show up. The name of the ship is called the Strider's Gambit, and it is registered under a person by the name of Clucall Det.
Clucall Det. That sounds familiar.
Well, it should sound familiar. It is the name of the Nikto gangster that you stole all this stuff from.
Sure, but I never met him before.
No, you haven't met him.
As a Star Wars fan, the name sounds familiar, but I doubt it.
Oh.
I doubted it.
Thank you. That's a nice compliment.
Yeah, it sounds like something I would remember. All right, so Beegax will spend the better part of this jump. I assume we make the jump.
Yeah, you jump into hyperspace.
And he'll spin away from he'll set it so like it's on course. He'll go back to his quarters and try and spoof the codes. And about halfway through, he realizes, I messed up.
Maybe I don't think it's you messed up. I think it's just like it doesn't go.
It didn't make him any better.
Yeah, exactly.
He just like he stops. He's like, if I go anymore, it's gonna mess him up. So he closes the device, takes out the little code tube, just leaves it in the common area. Like, there you go.
There you go.
Leaves it there.
Here are your better codes.
He'll go.
They work? It's all good now?
Well, I mean, it's good as it's gonna get. Let's put it this way. You're very right about having us get in, get out. We should check weapons.
I'm working on it now. I'm having Creed look at what we got here.
Okay.
Let's do an Outer Rim roll to learn some stuff about Geonosis if you'd like.
Can I do Rampart Station instead of Geonosis? Where we're headed instead of...
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'll still do Geonosis, I guess.
2 success and
Two
3
successes.
3 advantage.
We'll start with general knowledge first and get more specific. So, Geonosis. Basically, it's pretty common knowledge that Geonosis was the starting point for the Clone Wars. It's kind of like where all that kicked off. The inhabitants of Geonosis are the Geonosians. They're like a sentient insectoid species. They are pretty isolated. They live way out in the Outer Rim. Not a lot of people go out there. Not a lot of other things are out there other than the Geonosians. They aligned with the Separatists. They were known for like being the biggest contributor of like droids to the droid army that was a part of this Clone Wars.
Okay.
They like had droid factories all over the planet, and they made battle droids that fought against the Republic.
Bugs making...
Yeah, they're good.
Robots.
They're good at building stuff.
That's crazy.
What ended up happening is when the war ended, there were a couple of battles that happened on and in around Geonosis. When the dust settled, the Imperials came in and occupied everything. It sounds like, at least from what Verse is telling you, that this whole sector of space is being shut down and is nothing but like a military zone. And kind of what she's asking you to do, it'd be like if someone was like here in LA and was like, hey, we need to go to Kabul, like right now. There's a military base I have to get into.
I gotta pick somebody up.
Yeah, like that's kind of the equivalent of like what she's asking you to do. It's a little bit wild.
Everything that's basically built in their space is it's Empire built, right? Imperial built. So like station, cruisers, anything like that, that's all Imperial.
Yeah, so what you'd be expecting, exactly what Verse has told you, is that Imperial Navy is there.
Oh boy.
Rampart Station is likely Imperial built, or some kind of separatist thing that's been taken over and repurposed, but it's all occupied. There are likely things like Star Destroyers, TIE Fighters, Imperial officers, all there at the station. This is less like a ragtag security operation like Tabros Station. This is like a military locked down kind of
Base. This is a base.
And Rampart Station is, from the coordinates that you've got and everything like that, it is not by the planet, so it is not likely that you will be able to get to the planet. But this station, Rampart Station, is like the place where you go to refuel, resupply, get things to go to the planet. And only certain people are allowed there.
Maybe we're on the outside of danger, just on the cusp.
Maybe. I kind of want to know why this lady is at this station. If it's completely Imperial,
She's
like
I think
run.
she's a prisoner, I think.
Prisoner.
Well, there's definitely someone you can ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in hyper
Yeah, we're in hyperspace.
space, so we're on our way there.
I would
Okay.
assume we're all talking around the common area when we're getting this information.
Yeah, in fact, versus like taking stock. Yeah, we're all sitting around the common area. She's standing up. She's like, "Well, we don't have much weapons-wise. It's just what we brought in with us. We have some cargo. They're weapon parts. Beegax, you've got this itemized, right? Like some kind of inventory we can show so they can check off their stupid paperwork or whatever."
Yeah, it's easy to make. I'm sure there's one already here somewhere.
Fine, fantastic. We're gonna need these. She passes out some comm links to each of you.
Oh, yes. Yay!
Now, hopefully, we aren't going to be separated, but if we are separated, we've got to use this. Now, they're not private comm links, but they will keep us in communication. Like I said, we get in, meet my friend, we get out. That's the deal. We don't want to be there any longer than we have to be. She sets down a bunch of stuff. They didn't have a ton of supplies, but they did have some emergency medical supplies. We've got this, and there's like... there's a D10 somewhere on there. Roll me a D10.
7.
There are 7 stim packs.
Yes.
They have there.
Yay!
That was a really good tongue pop, by the way.
Thank you. I've been practicing. That means I have.
Oh, shit. I should really check
9.
my placebo message. He said stay put, and we're like, oh, we're in
Well,
Geonosis.
bye. We'll be back, dude.
Sorry, boss. Sorry, temporary boss. We're in Geonosis right now. Get back to you later.
Ello is going to ask, after grabbing these comm links and looking at the supplies that are in the middle of this table, I'd just like to confirm, what exactly are we trying to accomplish? Where are we going?
We're going to Rampart Station. It's not on planet. It's at the cusp of Geonosian space. There's going to be military everywhere. What we're trying to accomplish is to get my friend.
Can you be any more specific? Just showing up at the station seems like a bad idea. Do we have any idea where in the station they may be?
I'm kind of blind on this a little bit. I imagine we'll be asked to dock in some kind of bay. They'll come aboard and check our ship, check our manifest, make sure we got cargo and unload it. During that time, we got to find my friend. She had a tough time getting just to the station, and an even tougher time getting information to me. So yeah, we're going in a little bit blind, but if we can just do it quick.
Your friend, she got into the station.
Yeah,
How did she do it?
I don't know. I imagine she smuggled herself somewhere, some attaché that was coming from planet. She was on Geonosis. I don't know how she got to the station.
Beegax looks at Ello, and then back to Verse.
Your friend, she managed to sneak onto an Imperial installation from a planet that's Imperial controlled while pregnant.
Very.
She must be very skilled.
I think she's just a mother, you know? I think that's what drives her.
My mother would have sold me for food, so I can't really say I understand, but I get it, I guess. I mean, getting on there is not going to be a problem. It's getting off. If you can't find your friend in time when we're done unloading or doing what we're supposed to do, air quotes, then there's no way for me to just hang on and tell the Imperials, hey, we're waiting for something. That's not going to work. We need something else. Something to take their attention off of us being in their docking bay until you get on board.
What do you suggest?
He smiles.
A bomb.
And what do you mean by that?
I mean, like a bomb. Like we blow something up on the station, take their attention off, maybe give me enough time to hack them from the ship, get into their systems, their fire control, doorways, whatever, make a route for you to get back, cut them off when we need to go, and then bounce.
That's better than going in blind.
No, definitely. Because, I mean, I don't know about you, but blind people don't do a good job of flying ships.
Okay, so you want to make a distraction while we're there.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do that?
I can do a lot of things. This I've done before.
Okay.
We need one of us to be the face while we're there. Can't be me.
He's going to look at Creed.
What about you, big boy? You want to be the spokesperson?
Sure, I can. I suppose.
Good.
You want me to pretend I'm the pilot?
No, you're gonna be
I've never done that before. Could be fun.
Clue Caldette.
Clue called debt.
Clue for short.
Okay.
Good. Get used to the name. Go look in the mirror and practice it 20 times.
Clue called debt. Clue called debt.
He's gonna look at Ello.
You're gonna go with verse. I need you to plug something in somewhere to a hard line.
All right, as long as we have some sort of plan.
Yeah. Give me some time. I gotta see if I can come up with a good distraction.
He's gonna air quotes. So I'm thinking of building a virus
Ooh,
slicing program.
yeah.
So it's just plug and play.
Yeah,
So that Ello just boop, and then
I like that. And you got light points, light side
we got
points.
3
to
of them.
spend
But
for
I
that.
think we should save those for them escaping, because that's gonna be. She's going in there like,
I gotta find my friend. She's pregnant and she's
I don't know
super
where
spy.
she is.
I don't know where she is. So just keep the car running.
versus like, okay, point of clarification. You're coming with us off the ship though, right?
No, absolutely not. I'll get made. If this is an Imperial Navy installation, it's a little different than standard security checkpoints.
Okay. So it's just you and me then.
It seems like it's probably safer if we stuff you away somewhere while we're on planet.
Yeah, I'll be hiding somewhere in the ship. I'll look for a compartment or something big enough for me in the deck. Well, the minute you plug in my distraction, I'll be able to help much better.
Verse like, she does the expression I'm doing now, like eyebrows up and like looking down, like she's kind of doubtful, and she's like, all right, then that's what we do.
1 point. You have to look like part of the crew. We need to find some uniforms or something on board here to make you guys look uniform. You and Clue need to find some matching uniforms or something.
I don't know if we're gonna find anything on this gangster freighter that's uniform, but I'll take a look.
You can make something. I mean,
What's wrong with what I got on now?
you look like a bounty hunter.
Really? She's got like this big.
The
She's got
rifle,
this like jacket on, dusty jacket, and like a big rifle. Well, I'm not gonna take this with me.
I know that.
I'm Clue called debt.
Good. You're practicing. You're learning.
He winks, all 3 eyes.
This will be great. I gotta go work on this distraction.
and he'll go to his quarters and he will try and write a very, very complicated virus.
Creed looks at Ello.
I'm Clue called debt.
You sure are. Way to get into character, bud.
Again, like I love how Beegax just like he like goes to like a room by himself. Like he's like,
Get these people
I
away
can't
from me.
deal with this to do what I do.
I don't want to worry about your job. I want to worry about mine. He operates very similar to me in real life.
So you want to make a virus, okay, to infect them. What do you want the virus to do?
I want it to cause an overload in some sort of power source that will shut down, at least from their perspective, will shut down their eyes and ears at the station for a limited amount of time.
Okay, so like security cameras and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And internal system gates they have like that prevent outside sources from coming in. So like opening all the basically anything that would block hackers from getting in, I want those to be open also.
Like from an electronic point of view, not like physical doors, but like
No, physical doors. I want just everything opens. Just
okay.
They have no control of that.
That's a big ask.
Yeah, it's
I
a
think
big
you're
one.
asking a lot.
It's a big one.
You should not. You should use one of those for it. You should use.
Yeah, I'm gonna use one of these to make it.
Okay. All right. Okay. I was gonna make you roll for it, but if you're flipping a light side point and you want to do this, then
Because this is a very pivotal part of the plan.
I'm on board for that. I like to think of it as this is one of those like special Beegax.
It is,
like
but I would think it's like a series. It's like 3 of them, right? And he's like, okay, I need to get the information that's the size of 3 separate slicing picks onto one. And so that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to like condense it, so make the code very beautiful and elegant. It's opposite. It's not Beegax. His code, as described before, is like making things shorthand so I know where it is and leaving the mess. So he's really pushing himself on this one.
Okay. So yes, those exist. You flip the light side point. We have those now. They have to be implemented somewhere, like you were saying, like put in a hard link, basically.
Yep. Yeah.
So we're gonna have some rules for that because I think the places that they have to go have to be like security
The high
checkpoints.
security place, yeah.
Something like that. Like you have this really good cracking device, but you got to get it in somewhere.
So I picked Ello so she can look like, oh, boop, I found it.
He was hoping that that's exactly what happened. Oh, there it is.
No, you gotta, it's gonna be like, I'm lost. Where is the bathroom? And then just walking through doors.
This droid needs to release.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like we have a plan here.
Oh, also, before we drop out of hyperspace, I gotta find like a spot on the ship where I can hide with my deck. Cause I'm not that big, so like maybe he'll clear out the like a cabinet in the kitchen, an oversized one, and throw the pots and pans in his bedroom, and then he'll know that that's where he's got to go once the ship is docked. And he's gonna run from the cockpit with his deck into there.
All right, you ready to do this?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm going to be right with Clue until Verse and I leave to help him out.
Okay.
He my buddy.
Gotcha.
If he needs any assistance, I'll have like my data pad, like, oh, here's all the things he can't answer for you.
Oh, and I'll give them the manifest. Yeah, I think I'll find the manifest.
There
Or
you
if
go.
you don't
Yeah,
have
there
one,
you
I'll
go.
make one.
Okay.
It's literally like a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
16 crates of this. Oh, how many crates do we have? We never went over the amount.
Where's that D10? Roll me that D10. See how many crates you
going.
have.
All right. 3.
3
It's only
screens.
3 oversized crates.
You fall out of hyperspace into Geonosis system. A couple of things become immediately apparent. One, you see Rampart Station. It looks like a big space station with those like big hangar bays that a lot of the space stations have. You know, you can like see the big
the
bay and it's
Extended rectangle.
it's got those like shields on it. You see a squadron of ties, 3 deep, come swinging by, and they are buzzing around. Off in the distance, you can see other squadrons of TIE fighters now doing like perimeter checks around this station. You are in the heart of Imperial occupied space at the moment. There are no less than 3 Star Destroyers that just drift slowly like that. And you can see off in the distance, it's not big, but you can, if you squint, you could just make out, and maybe like on your sensors, like zoom in, the planet of Geonosis. It's orange and dusty, and several moons orbit it. And there's something out there, something like a lot of scaffolding.
They're building it.
All by it, just Star Destroyers.
Oh, it's like
my
watching over
gosh.
it. Yeah, they're protecting it.
Yeah.
Let's just fly right into it. Save the future.
You are hailed on your comms by the squadron of ties that are basically telling you to stay on your course and do not deviate or they will fire. And they escort you along to the entrance of Rampart Station.
Upload the codes.
A voice crackles on, and it's an Imperial officer. Crew of the Strider's Gambit, you are coming into Rampart Station. State your business, and we will receive your codes.
Beegax motions to Clue.
He like looks at you, panicked.
Clue called debt.
He'll hold up the data pad with like the weapon parts.
Weapon parts. Bringing. We are. And.
Clap like that's better than what we. Usually it's not that good. So.
Verse, like you can see the stress, like you can see her blood pressure just rise.
Meanwhile, Elo and Beegax are both like,
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's
good
really-
job, buddy. Good job. You did
Really
it.
nailed it.
He's like sweating.
Oh boy, maybe Ver should have been the one to talk.
All right. Do not deviate from your current course. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Silence for a little bit. I think everyone on the ship swallows.
Beegax has his deck like ready to run to the little hole to the
Yeah.
cabinet.
The ties screech by you overhead on either side of you now as they continue to escort you, and the Rampart Station becomes closer and closer. And then finally, your codes are clear. You may enter the docking bay.
Beegax just looks at Verse, points to himself, and then
Brush
pats,
off the shoulders.
brush off his shoulder, flexes a little.
And she's like, gives you like a little nod, but it ain't over yet.
Oh, no, not even close. All right, you know how to land this thing, right?
Looks at all three of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks at Ello.
Don't hit anything.
Roger that.
Thank you.
Roger, Roger.
And then he looks at Creed and then looks back at Ello.
And don't let him touch any of the buttons.
He's like leaning on the console, like, and then when you look over like that, he like takes his hand down.
He nods and just waddles down the hall with his deck in that bag that he carries, and he's just looking for goes to the kitchen and crawls in the cabinet like a scared cat.
Yeah.
Closes it behind him.
Like Jurassic Park.
Yes. Opens up the deck. Boop, windows. Loads up.
We see that glow on Beegax's face as he's hiding in this tiny little compartment, one hand foot like pressed up against.
Yeah. To give him some bracing, and then he also opens up a can.
Oh yeah, get that Jolt Cola going. Yeah. He's got to fuel up. So your ship starts flying into the bay and lands. You see some lights like all light up on your console, and Verse looks at it. She goes, "Oh, Carabast. They're doing life reading scans. Carabast."
Oh boy, they're gonna find me. We still have our comm links, right?
Yeah.
They can talk to me.
Yeah, she links to Beegax. They're doing scans for life forms.
Griff.
They know exactly how many of us are on this ship, and they know exactly how many of us are going to be leaving this ship.
That's good.
And he starts typing in. I can try is maybe overload our own ship's heat signatures or whatever signature they're using to scan, because I know what they use to scan ships. I was ISB. So if it's heat, I'm going to try and overload our heating system so that it blows out all the readings if possible. So I'm hacking our own ship. Unbearable temperatures.
It's about to get real hot in here. Don't worry about it.
And then I attempt to hack our own ship.
Give me, I think this is probably, it's just like venting stuff just into the ship, so it's probably just an average check, but flip a dark side point and
Turn one into a red.
We're going to upgrade one of those purple into a red.
It makes it that much more dangerous. Come on, baby.
Oh, I can't look.
Holy crap. It's a triumph, a despair, and 2 failures.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
That's 2 sides of the
That's
crits we gotta
so-
respect.
Who do you respect?
Oh my
How
god.
do we even?
It's a failure, though, overall.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
overall.
failure
So it doesn't
Failure.
work.
with a triumph and a despair. Okay. So, I think the despair is you've busted something on the ship.
broke it,
This
yeah.
is not going to work leaving.
Yeah.
Like, you are not going to be able to do this. Like, you...
They're going to scan us and they're going to see that we have more people.
Yeah. It's like hot air and everyone takes some strain.
Except you.
Except me.
So I think you take 2 strain.
Holy.
Except for Ello. And yeah, it's just like hot air, like vents in. Creed and Verse are like, Ello is standing in the steam, like,
Looking around like, what?
It's probably making your armor look a little better, the moisture.
Oh,
Getting
yeah.
a steam cleaning. Yo,
Polish me up.
I'm looking like when right before he shot me, the bounty hunter shot me. I'm looking exactly like I
That's
did.
not good.
Yeah,
I remember what happened.
8 and 7. Yeah, it's getting pretty dangerous in here.
we just saw that you had a ventilation leak. Is everything contained on board? Strider's Gambit? Creed, like, looks around. He's like, gets up out of the steam. There's like, everything's wet now. He's like covered in like this moisture.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Perfect. This is the second time we referenced that line on the show.
We just had a little, a slight, heating exhaust.
Seeing that he's like toppling over all of his words, Ello is just going to like pop up into whatever speaker, microphone, or video camera that is there and say, "We've had some malfunctions on our ship and are hoping to dock for repairs as well as drop off our cargo.
What kind of repairs?
Well, as you can see, our heating system has malfunctioned.
How long do you plan on repairing your ship?
Well, I guess that would depend on the aptitude of your repairmen. Are they efficient?"
Oh, and you putting it on them too.
I like it.
Man.
In fact, do we want to call this the Triumph? Like,
I feel like it is because two things. They're going to fix the ship for free, and we get more time on the
yeah, I was going to say, like,
This is pretty good.
having time like
But the
that.
despair is like, it's busted, and it's not going to work leaving because we can't do it. I can't do it again.
You hear silence. Someone comes back on the comms. We'll put whatever available team we have on hand, Strider's Gambit. But that is all.
Thank you. We appreciate your assistance. And I apologize for my captain. The heat seems to have messed with his mind.
He's just sweating.
It's like,
Creed, just like wiping.
between eye sockets.
Yeah, exactly. yeah.
So far, so good. So far.
I mean, we're on the right track, but that's oof.
You guys open up the cargo door to let in. There are, I mean, now that you are on the station, you can see there are stormtroopers, garrisons of them stationed here, some doing patrols, others just like walking around, TIE fighter pilots in this docking bay, some getting ready to go out, others coming in. It's very busy. There's a security like control tower that looks like elevated up on the floor at the back of the dock. Droids sort of like moving everywhere, doing whatever droids do on this station, and some stormtroopers come up the dock to you. I'm assuming you're all like meeting them, so it's Verse, Ello, and Creed. We're here to unload the cargo.
It's these 3 crates here. And Ella will point to the weapons crates.
Where's your manifest?
Ella will gesture towards Clue, since he was the one that was given the manifest.
I'm Clue Goldet.
And he like hands over the datapad. They look at it, hand it back. You're the one with the broken heating something, right?
That is correct.
Who aboard your ship is the captain?
Again, we'll unfortunately gesture.
I'm Clue Goldet.
Great. And then they gesture over, some other troopers come, they begin to like start to take these crates. And Verse, like, first she hits Creed in the back of the shoulder, like in his big shoulder, and she like looks at Ello like, I cannot believe that worked.
Me fucking either. This is so stressful and terrifying.
She looks at Creed and she's like, you got this, buddy?
Yeah, I'm Clue Goldet.
And he winks. And then she's like, okay. Looks at Ello, gestures with her head.
Ello will like gesture like, let's go, but will stop and put their hand on Clue and say, you do got this. And we'll follow Verse.
I'm Clue Goldet.
The two of you just walking out past the cameras, it pulls away and we just see Creed like it's like water and sweating everywhere, standing there, and like stormtroopers in the back like moving,
Looking at stuff.
yeah like moving, like looking at all this stuff.
I am picturing, and I know this is incorrect, I'm picturing this station as like a space mall. So there's got to be a place
Sure.
for us.
There's a piercing pagoda, there's a Sabaros.
Yo, look at the Sparrows, though.
Do they have boba here? Or
There's a Zoomies.
so I assume if there's a place where civilians, when they're doing these cargo loads or to go, so that me and Verse can sort of figure out what the next step is now that we're on this station, you know?
Like when you get your car washed.
Yeah, like a lobby. Is there a lobby for civilians?
Sure, yeah. Let's say that there is. Yeah, there's a place, and it's like aesthetic of it is a lot like the Imperial aesthetic, where it's just like nothing. Bare, yeah.
Okay.
There's like a soda machine, a table,
Okay.
a chair. Like it's,
Basic.
yeah, and it is not inviting in any way.
Ello is going to heading into this lobby. Is there anyone else in here?
I don't think so,
Just
no.
us.
Yeah.
Okay. Is going to, once they get in, turn around and look at Verse. Well, we've made it onto the station. Where to?
I want to see if I can find my friend. Can you do that?
Locate your friend?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that we could go in every room on the station, if need be. But I would much rather locate them some other way.
I can try her on comms. See if I can get in touch with her that way, but I can't guarantee it. What do you want to do about this distraction?
You try to reach her on comms. I'll go look for somewhere to put this.
Okay.
Let's
she
split
does.
up again. How about that? So Ello has like an idea of what they're looking for then, because we've done this before. And you probably went over like you're going to have to find somewhere, a secure location to plug this in. So Ello will sort of peek out of this lobby and look around towards the bay and see if there's anything similar to what they had seen before. Are there any noodle stands?
R2 unit. The sound effects for the R2 unit, by the way, so good.
I know that Respect the Crit doesn't have t-shirts yet, but
That should be, yo.
the noodle guy,
The noodle guy? Hell yeah.
Noodle droid.
with like one of the little hats.
So sadly, no
noodles.
noodle kiosk. Sort of above you is like a security office. As you like look around though, you see people coming and going, but it's mostly stormtroopers. Things seem off limits.
Upstairs included.
Upstairs included, yeah.
Super included.
Do I see a way to get upstairs from this bay?
Let's say that you do. Let's say that there's like a turbo lift, basically an elevator way down at the end of the hall. Stormtroopers walking.
Okay. Ella's going to walk back in and exclaim to Verse, "We have two options. There's an elevator at the end of the bay, or we could drill through the ceiling into the security room."
Is that something you can do?
Myself, no.
Okay.
I'm merely here to lay out all
Hello,
possibilities.
come on, focus.
Ello is then going to sort of tilt their head to the side. Were you able to get in touch with your friend?
Yeah.
Where is she?
She's somewhere in basically a storage closet, and we can try and meet her there.
All right.
I feel like we need disguises or something. Do we need disguises?
Ella's going to look around this bare room.
Yeah, there's like cut out to like nothing in the room.
I believe when it comes to disguises, our options are quite limited. And then they're going to look out the door and see all of these stormtroopers in their stormtrooper outfits, and is going to sort of linger their gaze and then look back over at Verse and then like guide their eyes over to these stormtroopers, sort of insinuating.
Oh, you want to get one of those?
Do you have any other suggestions?
How are you with talking with other droids?
Ooh,
I don't think you've ever
I don't
done
think I
that.
ever have.
The ramen is the only one.
Right. What is that supposed to mean? Us droids are so good at talking to each other.
Whoa, I did not. Okay, I'm sorry. No.
Ello is just going to sort of like laugh it off.
Oh, gross.
I'm trying to lighten the mood.
God, Elo, okay, Criff. So help me. If we get out of this, I'm going to teach you a criffing joke, all right? You need to learn something better than whatever you got programmed in. All right. You want me to grab a stormtrooper?
If possible, I think that's probably our best option if we need disguises.
Can you get one in here?
I can try.
All right, you try, and I'll try to get their clothes off.
Bow chicka bow bow.
Hello? I'm serious. Let's snare a stormtrooper is what it sounds like, right?
Classic Stormtrooper trap.
I'm going for like, I want to see a low ranking
Right.
solo TIE fighter is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Like a very low ranked, no one would notice this nobody missing. The only idea that I can think of I don't think will work, but I'm going to try it anyway. Ello is going to pretend to malfunction.
Oh,
I'm having
interesting.
a heart attack.
That's the only idea I can come up with. Let's see how it goes. Ello's going to spot this pilot and will immediately bump into them.
Watch it, droid.
Peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter. And we'll circle around, peanut butter,
What's-
and begin knocking into them over and over. Peanut butter,
What's
peanut
going
butter,
on?
peanut
What's
butter,
going
peanut
on?
butter.
Roll me, I think this is a deception check.
No. Oh, God.
Terrible at these.
You see Verse like peeking out from the door frame, like ready to ambush, and she's just like,
And you said what? Average or hard?
no, I think this is an average check. This is, I think you've managed to unsettle me, so Yeah.
I mean, we have too.
There are light side points.
There are.
There's
I'm
some
so
light side
tempted.
points.
I'm doing it. My one green becomes a yellow. 2 successes, 2 threats.
There we go.
Solid.
I decepted you so good just then.
I think what happens is this TIE fighter pilot, they're like looking around for help, basically. Like, who
what's
can
happening?
who can take care of this? This is not my problem. There's something wrong with this droid. Is there a mechanic? Is there anyone here? What's going on? This is not my department.
Hop in verse.
Verse comes up and she's like, "Oh, you got a problem? You got a problem with your droid?" Yeah, it won't stop saying peanut butter. I don't even know what that is.
Peanut butter.
It's not a real word.
Yeah, that's not a real word. What the criff is peanut butter? We have blue milk. We don't have peanut butter.
Come on.
Come on. Yeah. I can take a look at it. I'm gonna need you just over here, though. Can you tell me? And she like starts ushering them into the room.
Peanut butter.
And she takes the butt of the blaster and hits him on the head.
And Ello's gonna look at Verse and just give a thumbs up. So far, so good.
Great.
We're doing this. We're actually doing
We
this.
only lost one of the things.
A little time passes. Verse puts on this trooper uniform. And what do you do with the body?
What do we do? I mean, push him into a corner and hope nobody finds him.
Roll a stealth check to see how stealthy this body is hidden so that it is not discovered.
Average.
Yeah, we'll call it average.
1 success and 1 advantage.
Nice.
Oh, okay, cool. So success, you hide it. What's the advantage?
We can lock the door.
Cool. I like it. That's good.
From the outside. That makes
From
sense.
the outside.
That's very good. Yeah. We see the body like in the room just poking out a little bit. The TIE fighter pilot, she's got like a A-frame shirt and like heart boxers or something. And the door shink closes, camera pulls back, Verse puts on the TIE fighter helmet.
Ello's put in whatever code necessary to lock the door.
Makes a random assortment of numbers.
Yeah.
Just keeps pushing buttons. Eventually, I'll get it.
You guys are walking together, walking past stormtroopers, walking past Imperial officers. Verse keeps her head straight forward, walks with a purpose. Eventually you come to another door, and Verse she looks to make sure that everything's clear and opens it, and you walk in. Verse gestures, Ello, this is my friend. This is Adini. And Adini is a Kulaseto, a mosquito-looking insect humanoid. They have like big bug eyes and a big proboscis. Her coloration is, she's like, do you know those like maple moths that are like pink with like yellow kind of, I think that's her coloration, is she has these like big compound eyes, and she's like pink and has like fur, like yellow fur, and they're quite small. They're kind of like Beegax's size a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And she looks big, like a big full mosquito, because she's pregnant.
She got babies.
And you just see this bug like blink up at you, and Verse is like, are you okay? How are you? How are your babies? She responds, Adini, but not in basic, in like a insect language. Ello might even know this language, because Ello at one point had some LOM droid parts, and the LOM units are made to interface with insectoid species.
Oh, that's
So
so
you,
cool.
if you want, you may even know this language and be able to like talk with her and translate.
Very cool. What does it sound like to us humanoids, this insect language?
To us listeners.
Yeah, I think it's not something that we can do with our vocal cords. I think it
Cop
sounds...
out. What a cop out.
I picture just like a bunch of slurping.
Ew.
They've got those huge...
I mean, I think it sounds like mosquito, like that high pitched, and it's like pitching
itchy.
up and down.
Cool.
Getting all itchy thinking about it.
How's she doing?
Roll me a medical check.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I know.
Whoa, it's like my
Yay,
computers.
medicine.
It's like we're built for these jobs.
Average.
Yeah, average.
2 success and 1 advantage.
Nice.
Yeah, she looks hella pregnant. Like she's gonna pop at any minute. I think with an advantage, you probably know now that you see who Verse's friend is and what they are, that Kuliseto, they don't necessarily give birth. They need to lay their eggs somewhere.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say she needs to blow up or something.
I thought so too. I was like, her babies are gonna come
Ian,
busting
don't
out
you
of her
do
belly.
this to her, Ian. She's already looking like that.
She doesn't look well. It looks like she's been like holding that off for a bit because
She's been here.
she's here.
She's holding them in.
Yeah.
She's really got to go.
Yeah. She does have to go.
Eggs.
Ello is going to see this, that she's like about to burst, get down to her level and in her native tongue say, hello, and then look up at Verse and say, we need to go now.
Verse like nods at you, and then Adini puts a little mosquito hand on your hand, and she says in her language, I can't go, but you have to take my children.
Oh god.
Ello's going to look up at Verse. This wasn't the plan.
Yeah, well, I didn't plan on them doing life form scans either. Adini, you gotta come with us. You can't stay here. They're gonna find you. And then she looks up at Verse and she looks at the two of you. She says, if they find me here with my children, they're just gonna take my children away. If they find me on your ship with my children, they're just gonna take my children away. If you take my children, they'll have a chance.
Ello's going to stand back up and look around this supply closet to see if there's anything she can hold these eggs in.
It doesn't seem so. Verse is like, what do you need us to do? And Adini's like, I need to put these eggs in someone. If they're doing life form scans, they'll see me, but if my children are inside someone, we might be able to spoof them.
Yeah, put them inside of you, Ello.
But it has to be organic. And
I was going to say, I don't think that'll work because then I would come up as an organic being, being one more person on the ship.
Put them in someone? This is so...
Verse is like, okay, you're a medical droid, right?
Correct.
You can put them inside of me.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Ello's going to try and recall any side effects that may occur having this happen to Verse.
Cool.
Before she allows this medical procedure to take place.
Kuliseto children are like laid in something organic so that they can hatch and feed.
So they will hatch inside Verse and feed on
That would be
them.
that's the danger.
A possibility.
Yeah. Also, flip me a dark side point.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Verse is not compatible. Blood type,
All right.
hemoglobins, they kill these kids.
Ella's just going to come right out with it and say, unfortunately, this procedure is not recommended. Not only are you uncompatible in blood type and specimen, but there is the possibility that Adini's babies may eat through your flesh once hatched.
What about Beegax?
He's in the he's waiting. He's in the cabinet. Oh, what the griff is going on?
Where's that destruction?
He's like looking. It's like a timer on this desktop.
This is way too long.
And you can hear like footsteps of like the stormtroopers coming in, unloading cargo, and also like now there's mechanics on board. And you can hear Creed just like flubbing it.
Yeah.
They're asking him like stuff about the ship, and he's like,
One second. Well, I'm gonna call.
well, and like, yeah, you can just see.
I hear him. Hey, did you see the new T-64s? Yeah.
Yes, very good. You get a call on the communicator.
Griff, what happened?
Beegax, this is Verse.
Oh, what happened? Where are you guys?
We got a situation.
Okay.
What's your blood type?
I don't know. I haven't been in the doctor in a while.
Okay, we need you in here now.
What? No, this ship's crawling with stormtroopers. There's no way.
You gotta find a way around them. How's Creed doing?
Bad. Terrible.
Well, Is he a distraction?
One of two. I need the other one. Hurry up and plug it in.
We're on our way to do that, but we found my friend, and she's got to have her kids here.
Great. What does that got to do with me?
We have to put them in you.
Excuse me.
Look, I signed up, but I'm not compatible. We cut to Verse, and she's like looking at Ello, like talking in this thing. I guess humans no go, but Doug, that work? Adini like nods and says, I've seen a few Kulisetto put him in Doug before. It works.
Wait, your friend is a Kulisetto?
Well, he don't hear this, but
Oh, you can hear that.
I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
bug language,
I don't
yeah.
speak it.
Right.
And I'm like,
Wait a minute. What is that?
That would be Verse's friend. She's a Kulisetto.
He closes his eyes instantly.
Okay. Start the second distraction and I'll run. I'll make my way there.
All right. I should inform you that there is a possibility that the young may burst through.
I already know this. I already know the consequences. I've heard the stories.
Okay. Well, now you know.
Yeah, and if I die, I'm gonna haunt you. There's no question about that.
Everyone knows no ghosts can come back in Star Wars.
Okay, hurry up.
I'll turn it off. And he's going to rest his head against the back of the cabinet. And he's going to close his eyes. And he'll remember. I'd say he knew enough Dougs that he heard stories of like, oh, yeah, they put him in me for money, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I love that. Yeah.
I use it to transport, like, basically like the way that people across the board, like Coyote style. Like, I transport this person. I transport all these Kulisettos. And he hears about the ones who didn't prepare and how they burst into Kulisetto babies. And he's just thinking,
Oh, Maker, please let this work.
We cut to Verse, and she's like, okay, he's coming. I'm going to go get this thing in. You stay with Adini. And when Beegax comes, deliver. You're a midwife now.
And then Ello's going to get back down onto her level and sort of like hold her hands because she looks scarred. She's about to abandon her babies. I get it, Mama.
Yeah, she looks real she looks like a bug.
Right.
But-
As upset as a bug could be.
Exactly. Yeah. And she like sits down on her haunches and holds your hand.
And Ello's going to put their hand on her belly and look up at Verse. Hurry, we do not have much time.
oh my God, Verse, don't fuck this up.
First grabs the thing from you and she goes out the door. This is going to happen off screen, but we're going to have a roll to do this, which I think should be in your hands. So we're going to do another one of those combined rolls with deception. Verse has 3 ranks in deception, so we can use your
Whoa.
intellect with her ranks.
3 ranks?
Yeah.
That's 3 yellows.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
She's so good at lying.
She's so good at lying.
I don't believe a single
Oh
word
my
she
God,
said
this
this
whole
whole
thing's
time.
fake.
This is a bad guy, bad babies.
We're going to call this a hard check.
3.
Yeah.
Oh boy, 3 perps.
You can spend a light side point to upgrade this roll. Instead of getting another yellow, though, it just upgrades 1 more die, so you would get a green die in that pool.
Yes. This is for her to plug this in, right?
Yes.
Then yes.
Yeah, that's pretty important.
It's very, very important.
It's like one of the main parts of the plan.
Oh, this is good. This is good. This is very good. 1 success and 2 advantage.
Oh, nice. Okay. So we can figure out what the advantages are going to be, but off-screen Verse is like plugging this thing in and is able to, disguised as a TIE pilot, come into the security room and stick it in.
Just sticks it in the port.
I mean, then we cut back to Beegax.
It gets the data feed comes in. Do that cool sound effect you do when he hacks. And he goes to town. He goes in there and the program is running. It's basically just autonomous. It runs its own thing. All he has to do is just make sure things aren't coming in to stop it, right? So a couple seconds going through, and then of course the standard issue security protocols begin to start up. It becomes a game of Space Invaders, basically, where he's canceling things out. And he's got the extra limbs, and he's trying to clickety clack as quietly as possible because he hears them. And then the final program just needs to execute, and he executes the power converters of, let's say, like whatever the hangar opposite the hangar we're in.
Okay.
The shipping, like the dock compressors and the ship clamps unloosen on TIE fighters, on ground gear, things begin falling over.
Okay.
Maybe one of the power converters misfires and causes a small fire in like one of the power rooms.
Oh, I see. So this is like pandemonium.
Chaos. Yeah,
Okay.
causing chaos. Fire systems begin to turn off in certain sections and turn on in certain, like places that don't need it turns on, places that need it won't turn on. And every doorway leading to like directly back to the hangar he's at opens and stays permanently open.
Just all down this hall, we see it open up. Like a couple of stormtroopers just kind of like look, and they're like shrug it off and just continue on their
And then
thing.
the final, that beautiful siren that goes off, and he'll wait. He'll listen for the crew on the ship to see what they're doing.
You hear a bunch of footsteps, like just like going everywhere. They are going to figure out whatever is happening here. And that, yeah, like a fire is broken out, like a droid is running around, like trying to spray it down.
Peanut butter.
Stormtroopers going everywhere. You can see like the emergency power has gone on, so like the only real illumination kind of here is just this like moody light shining down on the TIE fighters and like the security office, and then like the lights coming out of this ship.
Wonderful. The deck is secure in the cabinet. He's gonna close the door.
I'll be back, baby.
Cracks his neck.
This is gonna feel really weird.
He's gonna sprint full Doug run, not even
Right
covering
past
his
Creed.
face. Yeah. Creed, take care of the ship. He's gonna be in the comm link. Where are you?
Sending coordinates.
Stops for a second, looks at datapad.
Oh, okay, that's right there.
And as I look around, I just want to take in the scene. As like the camera whips around me or pans around me, and there's stormtroopers running around. Stuff's like small explosions. I can hear them in the distance. Pilots are like talking to each other, like I didn't click down on it. And they just
Music to my ears.
And he's gonna run down. All the doors open on the way there. He'll find the supply closet.
You'd see Ello completely prepared to do this procedure.
Okay,
He'll take off his shirt.
all right.
Lie back and try to relax.
Well, I want to meet her first.
He's gonna.
Hi, I'm Beegax.
She like puts out a little hand and buzzes at you.
What's her name?
Adini.
Nice to meet you, Adini. Sorry about your kids. All right.
She looks up at Ello and says, "You have to make a small incision just above the abdomen."
All right, here we go.
Oh boy.
Ello's doing surgery in a broom closet.
Give me a medical check.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty easy check. I think it's
Yeah.
1. I don't think it's
1.
difficult to make.
This is so crazy.
This is very crazy.
What the hell?
How did we get here?
How? You're putting bugs inside of me.
I'm putting eggs inside of you. Bug eggs.
Wow.
This is really, really random. I really hate to bring us off topic, but I recently found out that there are these dildos that will shoot eggs inside of you.
Yeah. You're not far off because that's kind of what is happening here.
All right, now we
yeah.
have a visual. I'm ready. Okay.
Oh boy, the Beegax has never experienced anything quite like this.
Ello is going to approach this very calmly and notice that both of these patients seem a bit anxious. Is going to seem very confident to them, even though this is the first time they've done this procedure.
Oh no, are they going to tell a joke? Bad time.
Okay, 1, 2.
Almost a triumph.
Almost.
So close.
Oh, 1 success and 1 advantage.
Nice.
Obviously, you make the incision. It's fine. It's clean and sterile. Adini looks at Beegax, puts her little hands on his shoulders, and she buzzes at you.
What did she say?
She's asking if you're ready.
No. Do it anyways.
A little tube comes out of her thorax, basically.
God.
And it looks hollow and it looks a little slimy or mucusy. And it finds its way into the incision in Beegax's torso. And at first it feels really weird. There's slime on it, so it's lubricated.
Yeah.
And you can feel it sliding in, but then it's almost like there's a numbing effect.
Oh, like the actual mouths.
Yeah, so then it's like that thing where you're kind of like at a doctor or the dentist where you can like kind of feel pressure but not really
No pain,
no
yeah.
pain
No
or
pain.
nothing.
It's just something they're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then down through this tube we can see just little like translucently like little eggs just going.
How many?
Oh my god.
That many, huh?
Lots.
Like hundreds of eggs.
I'm not gonna be able to walk after this.
And Beegax begins to like feel full,
Yeah.
like he's feeling full, and you can see like I think we're like close in on each of your faces. Like it's definitely uncomfortable for both of you, but Adini is like got this like look of determination almost, and she's like holding on to you for support.
He'd hold her back. He'd like grip her back.
Yeah. Then one last push and like the eggs go in, the thing comes out of Beegax. There's a little bit of like goop there and she just like falls back exhausted against whatever's in this closet. And then Verse comes in. We good to go?
Beegax stands up, grabbing the incision still. He looks at it.
I think so.
Adini like reaches out one last time to Beegax and like she just buzzes at him and says, "Take care of my children."
He's gonna kneel down as much as he can. Kneel down. He's a Doug. He's gonna grab her hand.
I mean, basically mine too.
Her eyes get a little bit brighter.
He's gonna. I would assume we're all like leaving, and he's the last one who's gonna look back at her. He's gonna say,
I don't usually believe in this kind of stuff, but may the force be with you.
We pull back from this room, movie magic wise. It's maybe even a little bit of like slow motion, like Verse hugs Adini goodbye. You guys leave out of this closet as klaxons and lights are flashing everywhere. And we're pushing out as like in the background, people are running and it's chaos and whatever. And Elo and Beegax are like walking down this hall back to the ship. Verse walks out of frame. And to Elo, this is like you hear the voice of Borsk like, I want to bring them home. Whatever he wanted out of the last bits of his life, you're helping him fulfill. This is what he wanted to do. And Beegax, as you like lumber out with this like a bit of a belly
"Yeah, so
going
it's like
on.
one side is bigger than the other."
Yeah. You walk out of here. It feels a lot like leaving Tabro Station again.
Oof.
Like leaving behind this little mommy in this like Imperial world feels pretty reminiscent.
I think he's like Beegax is leaning on Ello and like using them as a crutch, and then as we get to the ramp of the ship, he just takes one look back at the chaos that's happening as the stormtroopers are like fumbling over themselves, and he smiles.
Oh, it's so good. I gotta make another one of these.
And he just climbs on board.
You guys get on board and fly out amidst this chaos. And you are trailed
I knew
by
it.
TIE fighters screeching in.
I hope everyone goes to their assigned positions. Oh, I'm piloting with like a lumpy stomach.
Yeah. So TIE fighters become screeching in now that you're outside of this base and you're leaving this chaos behind, but now you have to make a break for it and get away. So let's roll some initiative.
What does it take to like jump into hyperspeed?
We need to get
In
the hell
combat.
away from these guys.
It's an astrogation check
Okay.
is what it is, yeah. And if depending on how like stressful the situation is how hard the check is. So being in combat's probably like a hard thing to do. So it's probably
Right.
like a hard astrogation check. They are in close range. These TIE fighters come screeching in like You got away from the chaos inside the station, but outside is totally different. This is the Imperial Navy. These are a squadron of TIEs, 3 of them coming at you, at your ship. Yeah,
And they're coming to shoot at
they
us.
are coming to shoot.
us,
Yeah,
yeah.
something has gone wrong.
They know it was us.
This should not be happening. They probably don't know
They
who
don't know.
you
They're
are.
just like, this is not an Imperial ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, blast it.
But this is against protocol. So that is just 2 successes. That's going to be 8 damage.
Holy balls.
You hear TIE Fighter, laser, blaster come as they fly over your ship, trying to knock you out of the sky. And now it's PC slots pretty much all the way down.
I think we should give the first slot to our pilot to try to get GTFO.
Astrogation check.
Yes, please.
I'm going to use our light side point.
Triumph.
I don't want to take this away from
He's
you
gonna,
if it does
he's gonna
work.
hold his side. He's like, come on, babies. I'll get you home.
Jamie is hiding her face.
I can't look. It wasn't a triumph because I didn't hear you.
No, it wasn't a triumph. But it was a success with 1 threat.
1 threat.
Okay.
You were anticipating this because this was get out, punch to Tatooine, and leave this behind. Yeah, so it was getting it, like you were counting on this or some version of this. BX, tell us how you jump into hyperspace. What does this look like?
So he clicks the buttons because they're clicky. He's gonna remember the throttle thingy, and it'll be like it's like he's talking to the babies, and this is how you get out of a bad situation. And then he'll hit the throttle forward, and the stars will become stretched into the hyperspace, and they pound out of there.
You guys blast off into hyperspace towards Tatooine and away from Rampart Station. Now, I think that threat is that in the stress of this, you feel like, oh. And I need you to make me a...
Resilience?
It's resilience. That's what it is. It's
no.
resilience. I think this is going to be a hard check because these babies are about to come. They've been... And flip a dark side point.
Daunting.
Well, then I have to
dude.
flip one too.
We got comms,
I have
man.
to do it. 1 success, 1 threat.
The bebes do not come out. A threat, you take a strain. I think you're like...
I don't have much. 6. I got 6 left.
But you can feel there's like a wriggling, like a writhing going on
they're
in
ready,
here.
They're ready to go. Old Beegax like holds on. It's like when you have a really bad stomach. It's like me a couple days ago. And then he just holds on. He looks like Creed. Oh no, it's okay. False alarm. False alarm.
Oh, okay.
I'm pregnant, by the way.
Oh, Mazel Tov. I didn't know that
We
the
can't.
males...
No, we
in-
can't. We can't. But this is just temporary.
Most pregnancies typically are. How temporary?
Hopefully, till we get to Tatooine, where we gotta put these guys.
Do you want me to hold your hand, or...
No. As a matter of fact, what are you doing in this seat?
Every other seat was wet.
What? Oh, the steam.
And he'll check the systems real quick to see if they finished the repair job.
They didn't.
I'll have to do that when we land. You know what? Are you good with a wrench?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
What do
No,
you-
yes or no? Do you know how to use a wrench? Do you know how to repair things?
I'm not great. I'm way better at this Klukel debt thing.
Acting.
You know? I never thought of it as acting.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Well,
Do you think I got any talent?
sure. I need you to act like you know what you're doing when you look at that box back there and count the tools and tell me what's in there.
Okay.
He gets up and he like starts to head back and he's like,
You know, you have a really motherly glow about you. It's nice.
and then he walks.
He just turns around.
Hey, chuta!
You guys are flying through hyperspace and pop out to this dusty brown planet, Tatooine.
Oh my god.
Where even is this? Nobody cares.
It's not important.
It's not important.
Not important.
It's
ever.
the asshole of the galaxy.
Nothing good. Nothing good ever comes from
And nothing
Tatooine.
good ever came out of Tatooine.
Nah.
But you guys come down to planet, and versus like, okay, we're gonna meet someone here, just out in the desert, I guess. Ello, are you going to be okay to get things out?
We didn't run into any trouble putting them in, so I don't see taking them out as being an issue.
Okay, great. How are you doing? You okay?
Not great. No, I feel terrible. My feet are swollen. I'm really hungry, which is strange because I ate a lot of junk food in that cabinet. This is a mess.
Are you having any pregnancy cravings?
Money. Some about the same. Do we gotta go somewhere special for these guys to come out, or what's gonna happen?
I don't think so. It was just me here at this location, so that's what we're gonna do.
Who's me?
I don't know them. That was Adini. Adini's friend, Adini's contact.
Okay. Well, we just wait for him here then.
The ship comes into Tatooine, lands somewhere in the desert.
Thank God.
Outside,
Sticking the docking piece.
yeah, there's no, like, you're not near a town or something. You can probably see something on the outskirts or something, but very similar to Socorro, except this time without the blazing red giant sun. It's two suns.
Normal
yeah.
suns.
Two,
Normal suns.
like, white light, hot heat, and it's hot. You guys, the air cooling is out. You're sitting out there, like, all kind of, like, in the shade of the cargo bay door open down, and coming out through the heat haze is a figure on a dewback, which is like Tatooine beast of burden, basically.
Fat lizard.
Yeah, big
Huge
fat lizard.
yeah.
And it slithers on up, and on the back of this dewback is a large, like, taller than all of you, taller than Creed's pretty big, taller than Creed, is this big mantis, like praying mantis. They have
Riding a lizard?
riding the
This
lizard.
is a fever dream.
They have those, like, big arms and the big eyes and the mandibles that bite back and forth, and they have some kind of, like, tunic that they're wearing, but they see you, and Creed is like,
Is that the person?
I don't know. First,
are you the person?
that's a good way to do it.
He looks at Ello and he says this.
And without really, like, speaking, they get down off of this dewback and come over to you. They come over to Beegax, and they're just, like, towering
Oh, wait.
over you.
I'm already short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, the shadow of them comes over you, and they, like, point a claw down at Beegax's extended belly, and they click something in an insect language that is not familiar. But Ello, this is another insect race.
It is.
Do you want to know this language?
I want to know all of them, all of the buggy languages.
Okay, and it clicks, and what it says, what it translates to is
Children?
Elo will click back an affirmative.
you speak to this being who you must know the species since you know the language. This is Yamri. They're just a mantis, big mantis species. The Yamri walks over to the dewback, points to the dewback, and says,
Children.
What do you say?
He wants us to put the children on the dewback.
And Beegax, it's for some reason beyond his control.
Well, no. That doesn't look safe.
He, like, looks at himself.
Your hormones are all over the place.
verse, like, they're gonna be safe, right? They're gonna be safe?
Elo will translate and click back. How can we know we can trust you?
It, like, puts its claw on the dewback and just, like makes an incision on it.
Whoa.
It, like, gestures out towards the desert, and it says,
Trust me or trust the sands. What time do you have left?
No, she's basically saying you got no choice.
Right, that's true. Elo's gonna look back at Beegax holding his abdomen and almost like coddling his
It's moving. It's moving.
his little
It's a
his
rumbling.
little babies, and then over at Verse, and we'll say, I'm not sure we have much choice but to trust him.
I mean, he is a bug. He could be their dad.
I mean, that's racist, but it's true.
He's gonna, like, take a deep gulp.
I'm okay with it.
All right, then Elo is going to bring you over to this beast, and You don't have an antennae to insert them, so I assume I've got to like
Oh, you gotta take them
cut
out
your
of
incision,
me.
take them out,
Oh,
and then
boy.
put them in
Let's do it in the cargo bay. Can we do it in the cargo bay?
in a clean area.
Yeah.
I don't think we can bring this onto the ship.
Yeah, he's big.
This-
The cargo bay is big. It's a bigger
okay.
cargo bay than
You
the
probably could bring, yeah.
All right, then we can try that.
You lead,
because the truck came out of the cargo bay.
yeah.
No, this guy's he's as big as a truck. I would venture to say.
You lead this dude back, who looks more annoyed that it's been cut
Yeah, he doesn't
than anything. Like it like doesn't react much, and it lumbers up. Creed like grabs like something like a burlap sack and like puts it around Beegax.
That's nice. of
Like
him.
something for him to just not be on the ground on.
Thanks, Creed.
No problem, Mom.
Oh, this is good.
No problem.
Wait, Mom.
I'm gonna need 2 rolls from each. Well, I'm gonna need a roll from each of you. I'm gonna need a medical roll or a medicine roll from Ello, and I'm gonna need a resilience roll
resilience
from
hard.
Beegax. Yes, hard.
I'm gonna leave it alone this time.
And a hard medical
And a
check for
hard
you
medical
as
check.
well.
3.
Yeah.
Everything cancels out.
Wash. All right.
Yeah.
3 failures, but 1 triumph.
Oh.
How much do we respect the crit? Oh, this is.
Oh
bad.
no.
You're gonna hurt me.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So, well, I think you take some strain. I think you take.
Oh no, not
I think you take
strain.
2 strain for.
It's whittling me down. This is exactly what happened last time. It like got me to like 2.
Yeah.
and
We
then it
both
stopped.
need an oil bath.
I need a life bath.
Hello. This ovipositing of the eggs was easy because it's meant to be this way, but getting the eggs out, that's not how it's
Right.
supposed to work. Well, they're supposed to come out on their own.
But
so
we're transferring twice.
yeah. So I think you are like having to dig around in Beegax, and I think I think you wound him at least 2 wounds.
Okay.
Like trying to do this.
You're so good. At just chipping away at one person.
But
it's an art.
The eggs
Truly
made
an
it.
art form.
But the eggs made it.
But with your triumph, all of the eggs, every single one, are removed from Beegax without damaging them, without them hatching prematurely. And aside from the wound, the hurt that you're sort of like the stress you're putting on Beegax, you're able to pack these into the dewback, no problem.
Beegax collapses. Like,
Never again.
All done. You should be good to go.
Oh, really? I can't tell. I'm really numb down there.
I would say, like, even though my strain's at 4, I think he passes out. It's very.
Oh,
it's-
sure.
It's
Yeah.
too much. It's
Yeah.
like you were digging in there.
In those guts.
Yeah, you're
yes.
digging in some guts. Yeah.
Passes out. He's out.
Well, I suppose this mantis guy is on his way, but I will be carrying you aboard after we're done with this.
Yeah, so then I think this Yamri takes a moment to like look at Beegax on the ground, nods at Ello and the rest of the crew, and then climbs back on this dewback, and it just turns around and they just go back the way they came, back into the desert. And first just like, I think she like comes down to Beegax, is passed out, and she like gently kind of like picks him up, looks over to Ello and is like, where can we put him?
Bring him to the medical bay.
Verse starts walking and following Ello, and we just see everyone just sort of like following Beegax as he's being carried into the back of this ship.
Woo, man! Did not think I would give him birth
That was
today.
crazy. You did so good. You were a champion in there.
Where are they? Let me see him.
Let me hold my
Let me hold my
babies.
baby.
The last thing we see, you're on Tatooine, a message light begins to blink on
My-
Beegax's slicer deck.
It's in the cabinet.
Oh yeah, you're just like like in the cabinet camera frame.
Yeah, that's the last thing we see. Yeah.
We don't know about it. Beegax has passed out.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Ello is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram at jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me at idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. It's a different kind of Star Wars.
You changed it. We suddenly started to play the Firefly RPG.
Totally.